She couldn't just say that because of her history there. Because she would have had a whole different thing going on in her homeland. Of how dare she? You know? Because that would have been like an erasure of what her country went through.
And it all sounds like the plan is still in motion. Yeah. Segregating and keeping everybody, looking at each other in a crazy way. Because all we always ever try to do, for real, to some extent, is to be cool with each other. Right. But it's like how things always laid out is like we always had some crazy reason to look at each other crazy. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, Sue?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we new to you,
make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Is there any tension between colored and black communities?
What is racism? It's a racist society. It's a racial society.
I think colored people are racist, especially if we are looking at the broader picture of colored people being in fact black people. So in fact it is an internalized racism.
In my family, we were always very big activists, ANC, UDF, and but when we sit around the table, my oppa and my uncles will still say the K word, and they would still say, yeah, but they are getting all the work.
It's not something I really tolerate anymore, and it's something that I'm trying to educate my family about. And it's something that's really serious. I think there's so much that is unknown in colored culture and that doesn't get unpacked.
Colored people are a marginalized group in this country.
He said that he's still teaching his family about. I found that interesting that he said that because I don't think people are out of touch 100% with the fact that there was something wrong somewhere around history for lives to be expressed the way it is and people being viewed the way they are. But to the extent of that, I have to still teach my family about their history. Loki kind of makes it sound like there's not a lot of talk going around in the community or people are being as aware.
Well, I don't think it would be them not knowing the history because they lived it.
Exactly. Right? Family-wise, but you got to think about the steps too.
I'm thinking, when he said that, I'm thinking of the elders. He's talking about the elders. Because South Africa's history, it's a painful history.
Correct.
For them, right? Especially when we talk about the colored community and the black community. And I know, same thing, right? I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that there's some pain there that some coloreds feel that they can't just say, I'm black. And I feel like that's why y'all put this in our request form, trying to be messy.
Yeah, we saw the conversation.
So I'm just going to put this disclaimer out there to the colored community. Please don't try to find offense in anything that we say. Because anytime we talk about the colored community on our platform, there's always pushback. And I believe the reason is because when y'all see Americans speak on this topic, y'all are expecting negativity. But because this channel is meant to unify people of all different races, all different backgrounds, all different cultures, we are coming from a place of trying to understand. So please allow us to try. Okay.
Y'all didn't make her drop a bombshell. Y'all didn't hear what she just said.
Yeah.
You know how long it been since we said that we was bridging the gap?
A long time. I thought we established.
I thought it was y'all really didn't have she didn't put out the old files.
Ooh, child. That's why it was messy.
I ain't hear that in a minute. I thought we knew. And exactly, that's what I'm saying. But again, the platform is still huge and a lot of people are still coming in every day. You know what I'm saying? So we understand how viewers can get. But at the end of the day, y'all, that's the goal. Yeah. We ain't trying to overdo nothing for real.
Yeah. Don't try. Keep me nice. I remember saying this in the very beginning. Please keep me nice.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rah-rah with it. I can get rah-rah with people, but I don't want to get rah-rah with people, especially on sensitive topics like this. So back to the topic at hand. We know that there's still maybe tension there between the two groups. We know some people feel that some people feel, we know all of those different backgrounds. But what I feel is that being in conversation with so many of the colored, so many of the different tribal groups. The time is changing.
Of course.
And that's what I feel like he was saying, that he's trying to educate the elders, his family, about the times is changing.
You took us a long way around.
I know, but I was trying to bring us back to the original point.
Way.
Yeah.
But that's definitely 100% accurate.
Right.
That's exactly what you said loaded response in the way that I was trying to break it down, because I was going to give it to y'all, put it in the comment section too, but I feel like what you did, you don't have to apologize. I feel like what you did was perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people misinterpret a lot of things going on in these videos, and then y'all just jump down and, anybody's throat y'all can, just like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you put it on there. Yeah, 100%.
As colored people, they face structural racism. Therefore, I don't think
that
colored people can be racist. I do, however, think that colored people are somewhat anti-black. We've always been in the middle. We've always been talking about black issues and white issues, and colored people are just lost somewhere in translation. When we speak to black people about that issue, they say things like, "Oh, but you are black like us," but we can't seem to find an identity within that blackness.
We internalize particular notions of coloredness, and we believe that colored is better than black, and not that colored is a kind of black, one of a multiple number of experiences of blackness and oppression.
What is
That
it?
is
Hey!
Hey!
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I had to say it like outside Africa because we said, hey! When y'all hear like a punchline, like he really, I feel like his response was really clean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all that. Yeah, I feel like his was really clean.
Number of experiences of blackness and oppression.
That is the whole purpose of race. That is the purpose of apartheid. It is the purpose of capitalism. There has to, between the workers, there must be a fight, there must be a tension.
Prior to the arrival of Europeans, Khoi and, for example, the Amaxhosa people lived peacefully together. Yes, of course, there were skirmishes. No one's saying there weren't skirmishes. There were wars, but it was to the point where we are going to wipe you out and, you won't have any land to live on, etc.
With regards to slavery, already the segregation between different colors of slaves and where different places where they came from, they were segregated according to descent. So that already started. The segregation already started before.
Pause on that. Like, just let that breathe for a second, so y'all can digest exactly what she just said. Bro, like that was it.
Yeah, and I think for our American supporters here and different people around the world, when we think of slavery, oftentimes we only discuss the transatlantic slave trade, but slavery happened on the African continent too, in South Africa. A lot of people don't know that history.
And what's so crazy about it, which is like I don't even know how more simple it can get, but it was very similar. And I think people miss that big part of how similar the history was.
Yes, a very similar history. And that is what I meant by there's a 30-year difference between the fight of our rights here and the fight of South African rights. That's what I was talking about, like our Jim Crow era versus apartheid era.
And so at some point along the line, colored people were afforded particular privileges and rights that traditionally black South Africans didn't have.
So we tend to side with the fair skin then.
So speaking on the Tyler subject, that is one of the reasons that I said I understood her, because of that history there. She couldn't just come here and say, "Oh, I'm black." She couldn't just say that. Although people here was ignorant of what it means to her to be colored, and I'm not saying that we are ignorant.
Right.
What I'm saying is that we just didn't know. That's the definition of ignorant, not knowing. Okay. She couldn't just say that because of her history there, because she would have had a whole different thing going on in her homeland of how dare she, because that would have been like an erasure of what her country went through.
And it all sounds like the plan is still in motion. segregating and keeping everybody, looking at each other in a crazy way. Because all we always ever try to do, for real, to some extent, is to be cool with each other.
Right.
But it's like how things always laid out is like we always had some crazy reason to look at each other crazy.
But then again, we have to go back to the beginning of this caste system when it comes to racism.
Yeah.
No person of a darker hue around this planet can really claim racism because we're not the dominant race. We're not around the world. Of course, maybe a lot of population here and there and all that, but we're not the dominant, people even
like racism is whenever you're, antagonizing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Calling them out their name over, making them saying slurs to them, telling them go back to where you come from, making them feel less than, all out of just pure hate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or just ugliness because you don't know this person from a leaf.
I would say, just knowing, some of the issues that they dealt with and all of this, I would say a person can be prejudiced. Like here, like we can't be racist to another race here. We can hold prejudice. Like there can be, some views, some racist views, but we can't. The system of racism, we don't have that power.
It don't make sense.
We don't have that power
at all.
Yeah.
Than the darker skinned person, and that's just because of years of apartheid, I think.
Pause. And I gotta say this.
Hold on, we just stopping there.
Hold on, I gotta say this because it really makes me think about how difficult this topic can become for some people. It's almost like politics. You're going to rip each other's head off to get a point across, right? Or make somebody know that, hey, I am not that. But it's important to know that it's only, like, you would never go to a person who's not a doctor for surgery. Right? Or take advice from somebody that you need endured advice for who's not a therapist. So if a person has endured something, wouldn't it be the best fit to explain what it means?
Right.
Oh my God. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. That's okay.
People who don't do any work to combat that perpetualization of racism, so aren't doing anti-racist work, are also complicit in perpetuating that racism because it does exist within colored communities.
And then you get institutionalized racism that is actually a bigger problem because institutionalized racism to me means that I can't move forward and my collective people cannot move forward purely because of the fact that I am seen as a colored or I am seen as a black person.
We have media propagating the notion of black corruption. So in the minds of colored people, it's a thing of we are suffering because of blacks. And then in the minds of black people, they think that colored people are doing better than them. But it's the complete opposite. Both groups are suffering. Both groups are being marginalized at the hands of corporate corruption and at the hands of white supremacy in this country.
It's economic apartheid. It continues to this day.
When maybe you get in a bit too cheeky as a black or colored worker, they know that they can source someone who's more desperate from Zimbabwe or across the borders. So there's xenophobia, there's all of that playing into the system, that the system relies on it. It relies on the fact that we hate each other, that we compete with each other, and that we know that as soon as that one goes, I have a chance.
Oh, that was the end? Oh, that was the
end.
end.
Well, we're going to stop it right there, man. Okay, boom.
This makes me think of the issue that is pushed here with blacks versus immigrants. Versus all type of immigrants.
Okay, yeah.
Of any country. That's like when election, the presidential elections, that was a big topic. They taking y'all jobs.
Crazy to say on national TV.
Sir.
That's crazy to say.
Our grandparents were sharecroppers. I haven't seen nobody picking nothing since then, okay? I see the other people who came here for a better life, working hard, doing that job.
They taking a job is crazy.
Child.
Another thing is, it's like, bro, this conversation. I feel like we had this before, like beaucoup times.
Ooh, I'm shaking. I'm shaking because this topic just always gets me riled up. Not just for South Africans.
It was interesting whenever, you know, I forgot who was at the very end, but it was mentioning about how the two groups look at each other as if one is better than the other. And that's a mindset, because you have to literally physically think that as you're walking past another person who's a colored or someone that y'all may deem as black. And I'm gonna say it's low key similar here, because if you see back in the day, I believe, I don't feel like it's like that today, but back in the day, certain people have on a certain amount of jewelry, they're gonna think you're winning. They're gonna say you're winning, bro. You got all the money, you got all the cars, all the girls. Why I can't be him? Why he get to have it? Type stuff. And I feel like that's a separation, because when you see that, you low key be like, okay, maybe I am doing something wrong, or maybe I am the lower end of the stick, however that go. But you don't have to ever think that. It's a mindset. You gotta flip that.
It is, and of course, y'all know we just reviewing the video. Oftentimes y'all sending these videos because y'all want our thoughts on something. This video was sent in after the last video. When y'all felt that we did not understand it, I promise you, it was the complete opposite. I will say our interactions with colors online and offline, it's like night and day. When we touched down at the Cape Town airport, we heard the Demouchets. The Demouchets. Thank you for sharing our story, our history, you know, bringing your family here. We felt loved.
Felt.
Did not have any racist encounters in Cape Town. I'm thinking.
Or any bad like encounters with people like y'all see scamming and trying to get robbing and all that. None of that.
None of that. Felt love.
Yeah,
Felt love.
Yeah.
Felt helped. Anywhere we went, people were asking us if we knew where we were going, if we needed help.
Yeah, you just us and the kids, y'all literally.
Yeah. So. And I remember saying when we touched down, I felt like I was in New Orleans. I'm like, OMG, all I see is Creoles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.